And Kim, you're first.
Okay.
That's what happens when you come early.
Yeah. Day 21, the reversal. The first transition, as you have probably already realised, is about a letting go of any of the ideas that you may still have that an outside source exists. There is no such thing as an outside source. There are no outside sources of wisdom, guidance, or even information. This was true even within the pattern of learning you have been so familiar with. For in order to learn, the source of wisdom, even though you may have seen it as existing outside of yourself, had to function as what it was, a channel through which the wisdom, guidance, or information moved. If it did not do so, learning did not occur. In traditional learning patterns, the wisdom, guidance, or information sought moved from a teacher, whether that teacher was an actual teacher or a parent or a friend, to a student, or in other words, from a giver to a receiver.
I'm next.
Um, excuse me, I'm lost. I thought it was day 20. No?
Day
21.
21, the reversal.
Sorry. Okay.
So and we're up to the third paragraph now. Nothing was capable of being taught or learned without the reception of what the giver gave. The giver could make available, but could not really teach, guide, or even make information coherent without the action of the receiver. Thus, it has always been the action of the receiver that made learning possible. The receiver was thus also the source, because the receiver had to accept or give what was offered to herself. The channel is the means, not the source. The source is oneness or union, a state you now realise that you share and have access to. What you allow yourself to receive and what you do with what you receive is all that matters. The next paragraph's a long one, so I'll pass it on to Sharon.
You realize now that life itself is a channel and that you are constantly receiving. You still perhaps think in terms of receiving, meaning that there is something given from a source beyond the self. But this is the thought that has to change. If giving and receiving are one, then giver and receiver are also one. It is only you who can do anything with the wisdom, guidance, or information that you receive in union as a channel of the divine life force that exists in everything and everyone. There is nothing channeled to one that isn't channeled to all. The old notions of teaching and learning, but made it seem as if some had more and others less. But even the patterns of learning had, the pattern of learning had as its outcome the sameness of teacher and learner, the transfer of knowledge that would eventually make teacher and learner equal. Means and ends have always been the same.
Beautiful.
Should I read one more?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, however, there is no longer and eventually teacher and learner are equal, and thus neither are needed any longer. The transfer of knowledge is now an act of giving and receiving as one. No intermediary is needed when you exist in union. It is recognized that the knowledge, wisdom, guidance, or information that is needed in each moment is available within each moment, and that the interaction, rather than being one of taking something from an outside source into the self, where it is learned and then regurgitated or even applied, has given way to an interaction that begins within and extends outward.
Yeah. Jane, are you reading today?
Sure. This will seem like an incredible reversal, and thus it is. This is the reversal that will make of you a creator. But it can only happen if you make the first transition. You began your mountaintop experience with a companion who had offered himself as a teacher in order to bring you to the place of being willing to accept that a teacher was not needed. He joined you on the mountaintop in order to prepare you for his departure, a departure from reliance upon him that would allow you to arrive at reliance upon yourself. This reliance upon yourself has been expressed as a dialogue taking place within Christ consciousness. The consciousness you share in union and relationship with all. You have now been told to own this dialogue and to realize that its wisdom is your own. Are you accepting this? Are you beginning to ready yourself to hear this voice as your own? To express the voice of Christ consciousness as only you can express it?
Beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
It's good to answer those questions. Anyone? This is big.
Yeah.
Mm. Wow. Let's just sit with this for a moment because it's quite profound. Maybe you can answer those questions for yourself and just be more honest than we are accustomed to be. Are you accepting this?
Mm.
And it's you don't want to force yourself to say yes. You need to be honest. Where is it really? It's not, oh, I should be saying yes or no. It's just, what is it really?
Well, it puts it in such a gentle way, doesn't it?
Absolutely.
Are you beginning to ready yourself? Like that's a real pre.
Yes.
You're not just thrown into the thick of it. Yeah, it's
That one's easy to say yes to.
yeah, I think so. Yeah.
To express the voice of Christ consciousness only as you can express it. Oh,
Yeah.
beautiful.
Yeah.
It's like find your way to walk the talk, you know?
Yeah, which would be the true self-expression, wouldn't it? Coming from there. Yeah.
Well,
Oh.
that would be your heart speaking.
Mm.
And your heart is forever connected to God. It cannot not be. Otherwise, it wouldn't exist.
It's true.
Uh,
Oh,
I think this is getting closer where first he asked us to resign as our own teacher, and then he resigns to be a teacher. I love it.
mm.
All right.
I'll just finish. Realize that this is the aim of our final time together. Concentrate on making the first transition and on the reversal of thought that it requires. Thus will you carry this time forward with you into creation of the new.
Mm.
Beautiful. Anything else needs to be said before we go to the next one? Anyone? Yeah, Lee, go ahead, please.
Yeah. It was just when we were reading 21:4, I just got that it's the authority problem is solved there.
Mm-hmm.
I'm the the authority problem is solved.
Would you read that bit where you saw that?
The channel is the means, not the source.
Yes.
The source, yeah.
Mm.
Beautiful.
All right. So there is no outside authority.
Oh,
Mm.
beautiful. Go on, Leanne, tell us more.
It's good.
The source is oneness or union, a state you now realize that you share and have access to.
Mm.
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 Beautiful.
Mm.
Those are those moments when mind just switches off. I just can't think. You just find Course in Miracles because you enter into invisibility. Suddenly the form is not so important.
Mm. Mm. Mm.
It makes sense of why Jesus had to leave, isn't it? Like, ah,
Mhm. All right. Shall we move on to channeling?
Day 22, channeling. Samuel, are you reading today?
I can read. Day 22, channeling. If we have spoken a little of channeling here, it is only because you have been coming to know yourself as channels without the need for these words. Now, we must speak of this, however, for there is a confusion that can occur in regards to channeling. Yesterday, we spoke of teachers being channels during the time of learning. It was also noted that you realize that all of life is a channel.
Mm.
There is a big difference between seeing a teacher as a channel, all of life as a channel, and the self as a channel or channeler.
Mm.
Let's look at the idea of channeling as simply an idea of expressing, but an idea of expression that is given and received and given.
Mm.
When the word channeling has been used in reference to spirituality, it has often been used to indicate an intermediary function. The channel was always seen as a mediator between the living and the dead, or the world of spirit and the world of humanity. This idea separated the living and the dead, the spiritual and the human, into two states. States that could, at their most basic levels, be seen as known and unknown states. The teacher in the example used was also an intermediary, with the separation being between the known and the unknown. Thus, a channel could be seen as that through which the unknown moves into the state of knowing. This is the way in which life itself can be seen as a channel. Since the first transition involves realizing that you are the expression of the unknown and the only means of the unknown becoming known, it is important to discuss this in many ways as possible to make this idea clear to you. You are life.
Mm.
You are also surrounded by living forces channeling to you constantly.
Wow.
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
Mm. Mm.
So if we can't receive, we've got nothing to give. We have to receive. Yeah.
Be open.
Yeah. Mm.
Who's next, Kev?
Cole, you're next.
Channeling, in the commonly understood spiritual sense, can either promote a sense of separation or a sense of unity.
Mm.
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 The sense of separation comes when the channeler is seen as having something unavailable to everyone, rather than being seen as a means to provide or channel availability to everyone. Beautiful.
Wow. That's a big contrast, isn't it? Oh.
What each person channels is unique and only available through their experience.
Expression.
Expression.
Expression, I beg your pardon. Through their expression. The availability is there for everyone. The means of expression is there for everyone. What is expressed is different because it is a combination of the universal, what is available, with the individual, what is expressed. Whether one chooses to avail oneself of the channeled or expressed universally of another is a choice and another indicator of the uniqueness of channeling. The universal is everything. The channel is what? The channel is what, from amongst everything, is allowed perception and expression. Some will find many avenues of channeling available to them, both through themselves and through spiritual channels, without realizing that both are the same, because both require a choice to allow entry or union. In this choice, the universe, what is available, is channeled through the expression of the individual desires. Every choice is thus a means of channeling. It is taking the infinite number of experiences or information available and channeling only what one desires to know. Wow, that's amazing. Thus, it is prudent to repeat once again that you are the expression of the unknown and the only means of the unknown becoming known. You, in other words, are the channel, the conduit of the unknown becoming known. What you choose to know and how you choose to know it is act of channeling.
Alison, you next.
There is also, however, the idea of a channel as a passage to take into consideration. This we have spoken of previously as your access to union as a place or state of consciousness through which your awareness of unity passes through yourself of form. It is clear, when looked at in terms of process, that there is no intermediary function involved in channeling, but a function of union. This is the very function that you have waited to have revealed to you. The function you have known you are here to fulfill, the function of direct union with God. It does not matter that everyone's function is the same, because no one expression of the same function produces the same results. No one who is in union with God is in union with the known. Yet it is as if through this union you have learned a great secret that you long to share.
Mm-hmm.
But what is it? And how do you share it? How do you convey it? How do you channel it? Through what means can you express it? Can you put it into words, make it into images, tell it in a story? You will feel as if you will burst if you cannot share the union that you touch. When you fulfill your function of direct union with God.
Mm-hmm. Beautiful.
Oh,
How do you let it pass through you to the world?
Mm. It's a good bunch of questions to sit with and answer for ourselves.
yeah. I really felt that's what sort of happened with Sharon last week, because I felt I wasn't, something came through,
Yeah.
you know? Yeah. Connection happened and then it expressed itself.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Ah. Mm.
Mm.
Is it all right if I've got something very much on my mind. I'd like to just talk about it for a moment. My brother came over yesterday and we've never really connected very well. And he just started expressing, and he's very slow and he finds words difficult to express with, but he was describing his way of living in the world, and that is to feel into the things around him and the situations he's in, to ask what it's telling him, what it has to tell him.
Mm.
And at one point he said, even the air around us, everything in this world, even the air around us is filled with life, is filled with something trying to tell you something. And I was a bit sort of stunned, really.
Mm.
It just feels like it's very similar to what's being described here. Like, and I'm seeing, we all have our process. We're all coming into union.
Mm-hmm.
And, his journey is so incredibly different from anything I would have chosen. And it's perfect for him.
Mm.
It's just been on my mind ever since then. And I've been a bit distracted by thinking about that while being in this group. It just feels a bit like the same thing anyway. Thank you.
Mm.
Yeah.
It feels to me as if what's being described is along the lines of a type of telepathy. And from what I understand, dialogue and words and all that's involved in our communication just take us farther away, because I think it's the brain access, and so we get stuck on that. But from what I understand, true communication is more understood, and that goes along with a person's body language, their emotional output. It's not necessarily what's being said that's having the impact.
Yes. Well, there's so many different means. Like sometimes it just could be a sparkle in the eye, and everything moves.
Mhm.
Could be, yeah. God is in everything I see if I see it. And yeah, beautiful. Also, feelings have such an amazing capacity to communicate telepathically, that exactly same frequency of feeling is transferred over to you, and you actually know identically that you have whatever the other experience over there was. Like the abilities we have are incredible as we begin to open these receptive centers with which to be aware of all this. And just like it said in the previous chapter, I think it was just about, there is beings all around us. And one has to tune into what that is, and how does one communicate with that, or receives it, or becomes aware. And it's a surprise. It's not a mechanism of some kind. It's just like, okay, God showed me how to connect to everything. Okay, shall we go on?
Yep. Leanne, are you reading today?
Is it 22:7?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yep. Okay. The most simple, direct, and uncomplicated answer is that of living love.
Mm-hmm.
The simple answer is that you must express the unknown that you have touched, experienced, sensed, or felt with such intimacy.
Mm-hmm.
That is known to you because the knowing becomes real in the making known. It is the only way it remains real.
Mm.
You know union in order to sustain and create union by channeling the unknown reality of union into the known reality of separation. You realize that you know the unknown, and you desire to make the unknown knowable.
Mm.
You realize that you have known a place where nothing but love exists, where there is no suffering, no death, no pain, nor sorrow, nor separation or alienation. You sense that if you could fully express this place of union, you could abide there. If you could share this place in an aware and conscious state, that you would bring this state into existence and the reality in which you exist. This awareness of union with God is what is now within you, awaiting your expression. Awareness of union with God exists in everything. It is there in every tree and every flower, in every mountain stream and every blowing wind. It is there in each and every human being. It is now time to quit acting as if it is not there.
Mm.
It is time to be a channel for that, for the awareness that exists in every tree and every flower, in each mountain stream and in the blowing wind. It is time to be a channel for the awareness of union with God that exists in every living being.
Wow, that's so beautiful.
My God.
Mm-hmm.
This awareness is what we have been calling Christ consciousness, but what you call it now matters not.
Mm-hmm.
All the words that have been expressed here that say so many similar things in so many different ways are words that are simply calling you to realization of your union with God and to the new world you can create once you accept and make real this union. It's exciting, isn't it?
No, I'm still in the previous paragraph somewhat.
Yeah, isn't it?
It's tantalizing. It's
Can we do that one again? That
Yeah.
22.8.
The awareness of union with
Mm-hmm.
God is what is now within you awaiting your expression.
Mm.
Oh.
How do you express your direct communication with God? Like, how does one get that across in the most meaningful way? You know?
Mm.
Mm.
I feel like this is the full out, full body yes
Mm-hmm.
awareness that we want to, oh, yes,
Mm-hmm.
live with. Awareness of union with God exists in everything. Everything.
Mm-hmm.
It is there. It is there in every tree, every flower, in every mountain stream, and every blowing wind. It is there in each and every human being.
Mm.
It is now time. It is now time to quit acting as if it is not. It is time to be a channel for the awareness that exists in every tree and every flower, in each mountain stream, and in the blowing wind. It is time to be a channel for the awareness of union with God that exists in every living being.
Yeah, beautiful. Mm. Oh. Sometimes it's easier to express it with just a sound than put this verbal description of things.
Mm-hmm.
And we're so not accustomed to make sound. Yeah. Feelings express way better with sound and tonality and vibration rather than, you know. And then you might go like, oh no, I don't think I can do that. It's not normal. So when you look at these words like, like different names of God, many of them are like, Allah, oh Allah, it's oh my God, Allah, yeah, or Yahweh. It's all they more sound like expressions of some kind of exquisite surprise.
Mm-hmm.
In a way, shock to the system and just go like, wow, what are the other names of God?
Mm.
Yeah. Yeah. Mm.
Abba is another one. Abba.
Oh, bah.
Mm.
Hare Krishna,
Yeah,
Hare Rama, Hare.
exactly. Yeah.
It reminds me of a section, I think it's in the beginning of the dialogue section, where it says you're no longer your personal self.
You are.
But you are no longer your personal self.
Mhm.
And dedicate all your thoughts to union.
Yeah.
So it's always remembering that you are no longer your personal self. You're that which is everything.
Yeah.
And therefore you become a channel, because all life becomes a channel,
Mm.
because you have stopped being your personal self.
Yeah, I've just felt that I've been so deaf, dumb, and blind to it all.
Mhm.
And it's funny that in the Bible, most of the healings are like deaf people, blind people, dumb people. I suddenly like put the two and two together. Yeah, it's that we're deaf, dumb, and blind to God everywhere. Yeah.
Mhm.
God.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Master teacher used to call us dummies.
Yeah.
Yeah, he used to do all sorts of things.
Oh.
I recently saw a quote by Helen Keller, and I can't remember what it was. It was just in passing, but she was connected without all her senses.
Yeah.
She was completely connected to the God source.
Yeah.
Wow. And yet outwardly she was deaf, dumb, and blind, wasn't she? Like all those things.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh my God. Yeah.
Yeah, she did a degree,
Mhm.
having not even known what a word was until she was, I don't know, a few years old, before she even knew what a word was. That
Yeah.
there was a way to express
But she wasn't deaf, dumb, and blind to God, obviously, so
no.
she could do anything. Yeah. Oh my God.
Or
I
you're.
was just amazed at the quote. When I read the quote, I was just like
Yeah.
awestruck, because
Yeah.
it was Helen Keller.
Yeah, and then and then you just see that like that's happening in you. That awestruck, like I see, and who sees it? Like we begin to experience.
Mhm.
I often say, like, think of someone who is the holiest of holy, and just allow yourself the feeling that it brings up in you, and then forget the Holy One and just keep expressing that feeling until it takes you over. It begins to express by itself, because there is no one holier than you.
Mm.
If you see someone more holy than you, then you're putting yourself in the category of dummies, which sometimes it's okay too. Because to this world, you will look a bit dumb. Did I say something wrong?
Mm.
No.
I get it.
Yeah.
I have to go blonde, I think.
We have one more paragraph to go, or did we finish?
No, are you going to read, Alice?
Are we reading Course in Love?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ah,
Yeah.
yeah, well, I do have it here.
Wow. I'm on page
Once.
609
Six
in
oh
mine.
page 609.
Yeah.
Oh.
They're not always the same, though.
In my book, it's 597.
Oh,
That's just before day
Anyway.
23.
Just before what?
Day 23, carrying, it's just a paragraph or two before that.
22.9 we're up to.
are we? Oh, we're 22:09. Sorry, guys.
It's all right.
22:9. Oh, okay. The awareness is what we have been calling Christ consciousness, but what you call it now matters not. All the words that have been expressed here that say so many similar things in so many different ways are words that are simply calling you to realization of the union with God and to the new world you can create once you accept and make real this union. Shall I read another paragraph?
Yeah, finish off the.
Finish it off.
Okay. You might think of yourself as a channel through which union with God is expressed and made real here and now. There is no other time. There is no higher self waiting to do what only you can do.
Amazing.
There is no one else who knows what you know, the way you know it, or who can express the unknown in the way that you can express it. The unknown can only be made known through perception and
Reception.
reception and expression. The unknown can only be made known through reception and expression. Call it what you will, or what you call it matters not. Throw out all the words that express the unknown in ways that you would not, and find your own. Each way is needed. Remember only the feeling that a place of union exists in which you know God, in which you know love, in which you know of joy without sorrow and life everlasting. This is the great unknown that you can make known.
That's amazing. Remember only. What does that mean? Only. Nothing else is required. Remember only the feeling that a place of union exists in which you know God, in which you know love, in which you know of joy without sorrow and everlasting life, a life everlasting. This is the great unknown. Then you, who? Not the other guys. You. This is the great unknown that you can make known. Wow.
Wow.
Beautiful.
Yeah. And it's just being yourself, you know, like
Exactly.
oh.
Drop the presentation face.
Oh.
And I've been so terrified of it.
Yeah.
Ah,
Yeah.
so very. Yes, hello again.
All right. Is there anything here that anybody would like to name or express?
Oh, yo, 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 yo. There you go.
Yeah.
Oh, God. Oh. Mm. Every time I listen to music and it has something, just the same thing. It translates, brings me to tears.
Mm.
You know, I find myself weeping daily in some form of art. Particularly music comes through, and I'm sobbing with this connectedness, such a profound way of remembering God. I loved how he says in Hebrews 22:7, he says the most simple, direct, and uncomplicated answer is that of living love.
Mm.
It's like feel the love, and then feel more love, and then feel more love. Don't think about it. Just keep feeling love, and just keep feeling more love. And then allow even more of it. And it begins to just pour out.
Mm.
Simple and direct and uncomplicated answer is that of living love.
And even if it's not love, it's described as something else, it's still love.
Mm.
You know, like even if it's anger or whatever,
Mhm.
it's still love,
Yeah.
you know, because it's,
Mm.
I don't know, it just is. Yeah.
Well, this is really the greatest art of expressing, like the poets have tried, but when you have that direct experience, it's so like, you know, they talk about the unspeakable love. What does that mean? Unspeakable.
Mm.
Like you can't find words.
Mm.
And then you can still say something, but to actually, the words always kind of reduce it into the perception. Experience behind it is what truly communicates. Yeah. Well, the next chapter is really short. Shall we also
Yeah.
go on in? Is everyone not too
Mhm.
bright yet?
Yeah.
Ready to rock and roll?
All right.
Back to you, Kim.
Day 23, carrying. Forget not that who you are is what you are here to make known, and thus you must be a being who knows love without fear, joy without sorrow, and life everlasting. You must be this. Oh.
Nice, Kim.
A course of love gave you the understanding you needed in order to realize that you are this.
Mm.
The treatises, the treatises, I don't know how to say that word, gave you a way to apply this understanding. This dialogue is meant to give you the means to carry what you have been given.
Mm.
As air carries sound, as a steam carries water, sorry, as a stream. I thought, what? As a stream carries water. I don't think I can.
You can do it.
As a pregnant woman carries her child, this is how you are meant to carry what you have been given. What you have been given is meant to accompany you, propel you, and be supported by you. You are not separate from what you have been given, and you do carry what you have received within you. Ooh.
As we spoke earlier of being a channel, today we speak of being a carrier. Your instruction has been given. Now the task before us is to come to understanding of the means by which you will carry what you have been given down from the mountain and onto level ground, the ground of the earth, a place where you are connected and interconnected to all the lives,
to
all that lives.
All that lives. Well, it's about the same. To all that lives and breathes along with you. We are coming metaphorically and literally out of the clouds, out of the illusion, surrendering the mist that was all that separated one world from another. Jane, do you want to do the last two?
Sure. The clouds of illusion, even those that have gently surrounded our time together on the mountaintop, must now be surrendered, much as a woman surrenders her body to the growth of a child within. This is a willing but not an active surrender. It is a surrender to the forces that move inside of you. It is a knowing surrender to the unknown. It is a willingness to carry the unknown into the known and the known to the unknown. Yeah. Fear isn't an option in surrender. That's, yeah. Surrendering to the forces that move inside of you is surrendering to your own will.
Wow, nice one.
It requires full acknowledgement that you hold within yourself a will to know and to make known. This will is divine will, your will, Christ consciousness. It is alive within you. All that is required is that you carry it with awareness, honor, willingness. From this will, the new be birthed. What's the difference between a willing and an active surrender?
Well, he describes it as a pregnant woman carrying her child. Like when you're pregnant, your body has to surrender. It just surrenders to the things, but it's not like I'm going to surrender to this thing. It's not. You just have to allow what's happening to go through its process.
Like, what does an active surrender look like? Forced? Forced. Huh?
I think the surrender is also like a form of grace, because if I say, well, surrender, well, can you? And for me, surrender was coming to a point where I went, I don't know how to surrender. And then something occurred. It's a demonstration of this dislodging the active mind that has to keep trying. So the trying is gone. The trying disappears, and the easiness of everything appears without any effort whatsoever. It just comes. It's like, or in a way, when you see that everything you, like, my biggest experience with this course was when I read this Resign as Your Own Teacher. And he says, accept me as your teacher because I will teach you the truth. And he says, have no shame in this. And he goes, for you have tried in countless ways, and you can still try again, but you will not succeed. See, right there, I was shown like, oh, there's actually nothing I can do unless I join with this idea called Jesus. And so in that sense, I go like, oh, there's nothing I can do. I've tried in countless ways. I can still, he said, you can still try again, but you will not succeed. And right there was a surrender, because I realized there's absolutely nothing I can do. And boom, it all opened up, and everything began to move as a creation. So you come into this wall, basically go like, okay, well, I've tried everything, it didn't work. And then stop efforting and trying and searching and seeking, not finding really, because it's all effort. Comes this place of like, oh God, I can't do this anymore. And then there is that shift. To me, it also felt like it was grace that even brought me to this wall where I go, oh, I've tried it all, and I've truly tried a lot. And I'm like, okay, I see. There's nothing I can do, because creation is completely effortless. And why we not?
It's kind of like they don't push the river will flow by itself.
That's it. Yeah.
You can't make the river flow.
Course in Miracles, they also say like, I need do nothing, which, I find always good emphasis on I need. We need do nothing. And trying to do nothing is an effort sometimes. So come to this place where you completely give up. You know, and that's really difficult because ever since we were little, come on, try this. Come on, try this. Oh, now I have to do this. Now achieve this. Oh, bravo, bravo. It's like, whoa, trying is rewarded. So then we try and try. I was once with a teacher and he says, trying is dying. And I didn't really get it until later, what he was saying. Trying is dying. There's something in this complete surrender. It's like, can you stop trying? Or can you allow yourself to stop trying? It's like, okay, I give up. Anyway, that's from my perspective and experience also. Because what happened after that moment, I'm still wondering how one would even translate that into human language in any way. So, wonderful, Darling.
Willingness feels like it's of the heart, like an openness.
Yes.
And surrender is more of the brain, because now I know what I'm supposed to surrender. It's more of the mind. I know what it is that I don't want to give up.
Yeah. Well, it's beautifully expressed here. So surrender to the forces that move inside of you. I step back and let the forces lead the way. Yeah, I step back. I love that. I love that lesson. I step back and let God lead the way. I'll let Him lead the way. This is the same. Surrender is okay. I'm just going to step back and see how it unfolds. So surrender to the forces that move inside of you is surrendering to your own will.
Control.
In Righteous Will, he puts it this way. He says, do not surrender your will to God. Surrender to your own will. Same thing. It requires full acknowledgement that you hold within yourself a will to know and to make known. This will is divine will. Your will, Christ consciousness. It is alive within you. And only right through expression it becomes known. All that is required, what? All, nothing else. All that is required is that you carry it with awareness, honor, willingness. From this will the new be birthed. Ta-da! Beautiful, darlings. Lovely to see you all. Also want to invite some of you who want to, we do a Urantia book reading, which has just been absolutely delightful. It's like a next level of thing. So just so you know, tomorrow, 1 hour earlier than today, if anyone wants to just have a little peek at that exquisite way of seeing it's just so incredible. Like it will make you smile and you wouldn't even know why. Anyway, just to let you know that that's also happening on Sundays.
Also, depending on where you are.
Yes, of course. There's no pressure. Just there it is. All right, sweethearts. Should we leave it at that? Say anything before we finish?
Is there a link for that?
Same one. Same link.
Yeah, same room, this room.
Tomorrow at the same time, at an hour earlier.
An hour earlier, 7:30 Australia, 7:30.
Oh, same link. Oh,
Yeah, same link. All right, sweetheart.
See you tomorrow, Anthony.
I'll see you guys.
Sound.
Ciao, ciao.
Thanks, everyone.
Ciao.
Bye.
Hey, see everyone.
Have a beautiful day.
Yeah, you too, everyone.
Bye.